This is a Year 7 lower ability maths set at the Petersfield School. It is taught by Ruth Colenso. The ability range of the group is from level 5 down to level 3. The lesson is about investigating different nets for a cuboid. The observer is Tony Thornley.
Okay, as soon as you have got your desk ready, if you get your holders, which are on your desk, if you find your work from that lesson, and if number ones can come and collect the starter from you, please. Do I have all the number ones? So, number ones have got the puzzle sheet. Number ones have collected a puzzle sheet for each of you. This is the starter, so it's just reminding you what we were doing last lesson, getting you thinking. As a table, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I'll put it on my timer, to try and find out which of the hexagonals are actually cubes. If you need me, remember, you can show me on your planners because you'll show red. If you're feeling happy about it, you show me green. So if you've got any questions, you should be able to ask the person who's got the puzzle. If you want an extra sheet, I've got one. Remember, you're trying to work as a team, so I don't want to see one person cutting up and everyone else sitting around. So if number 2's come and collect another sheet, then you've got 2 to look at. There. And I'm going to give you 5 minutes.
Just sort of basic number things. Was that true in primary school as well? Does it say? Has the teacher helped you to try and get things better? Do you think you're making progress? Have you got a target for the end of the year in maths at all? No, not yet. Okay. Fine. Thank you very much. And your teacher takes your smart book in, does she, to mark? What about your rough book? Do they get yeah. It's all right, don't
One, 2 and 1.
6. 4.
Then let's add up to
5.
So we have to have a check it. It's a 5.
Which work goes in your smart book then?
The work that we want to remember for the whole year to keep looking at and revising.
Okay, so what's the most important thing that you've done recently that you've had to remember, do you think?
Smarty box, wasn't it? Oh yeah.
Can you show me?
Well, basically, we each got a pack of Smarties,
Yeah.
and we had to see that we put them into colour piles, and we had to see how many there was, and then we had to draw a pictogram.
Okay, and what was the purpose of doing it? What did you learn from doing that?
To see how many Smarties were in each pack.
Right, and to draw a good pictogram, I guess. Oh, that's a nice bit of work. And does Miss mark your books?
She doesn't mark our best books.
She doesn't. What does she mark then? She marks your rough book, does she? Okay.
Because we only put what we've done during the whole lesson in there.
I understand. So those are the main things you need to know. So can I look at your rough book as well then? Sorry, I'm messing you around. Thank you. Good, thanks. Thank you, Alice.
Time is up. For some reason the noise. There it is. That's your 5 minutes.
Thanks, Alice. That's neat, you've done some good work in there. So when does Miss mark that? What sort of bits does she?
Normally she'll mark it between a few weeks, so she'll let them work and then she'll mark it.
And do you have a target for maths? Do you know what sort of level you should be aiming for?
After we've done our assessments, we get a level. Yeah, but then
Right. So when was the last assessment you did?
2 weeks ago before the Easter holidays.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So did you get a level for that?
Yeah.
What was yours? Can you remember?
Mine was 5.3.
That's pretty good.
Mine was 7.
Right. Okay.
And did Miss tell you how you can get better, how you can get to the next level?
We had a sheet, but I don't know
All
when
right, so it might be in your folder, might it?
Yes.
I'll have a look in a minute. All right, okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, well done.
Right, as a table, I want you to come up with a table answer. I'm just going to label these. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay? Can everyone see that? So we've got A, B, C, and D. As a table, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to decide which ones work. So you need an answer which is maybe B and D. And then I'm going to be asking one of you, but I'm not going to tell you who yet, to be the hands up person for that question. So I'm going to say A, and if you're the person I'm going to ask, you're either going to put your hand up or not put it up. Hand up will mean you think it works, okay? So I'm going to just give you 30 seconds from now to decide which ones work. Everybody needs to know the answer, because I could ask any of you. Go! So does it work? Who's got a numbers on for me? That's a C, isn't it? Can I finish that?
Yeah, the numbers on them too. Where's the dice? Look,
That's a C, isn't it?
look.
Okay, stop. Right, number one, put your hand up if you think that A works. Fantastic, it does. A does work. Okay, roll again. Number twos, it's unusual. Number twos, put your hand up if you think B works. Ooh. Right, I might need to define works better, because I know that Fergus wants to tell me something. What do you want to tell me, Fergus, about B?
It makes a cube, but the numbers don't match up. They're not the
Fantastic.
right places.
So it doesn't work according to my rules, does it?
No.
My rules were it had to make a cube, but it also had to be proper dice. So it didn't quite work. So B doesn't work. Let's just think about the cube bit, because this is what we're going to do for the rest of the lesson. If I look at this, and I call these points A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Leave it like that. Can you see that? Yeah. Right. So, here's E. What's going to come up to E? Have a thinking. Go on, Ryan. What's going to go up to E?
Would it be H?
Would H here go up to E? Okay. Where do we think? Did it work, Ryan?
No.
Which one did get there?
G.
G. So G comes up to here. Now, if I think about a cube, here's my cube. How many faces, that's the flat side, meet at a corner, which is a vertice? Another word for corner is a vertice. How many faces meet at a vertice? I'm going to count to 10 and then I'm going to ask you to put enough fingers up to tell me how many faces meet at a vertice. Okay, everybody put enough fingers up for how many faces meet at a vertice. So everybody answer. How many faces meet at a vertice? Be brave, stick your hand up. If you think it's 5, put 5 up. Go. Up, 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 because I can't see if they're down there. I can see 2s, I can see 2s, 2s. Okay, quite a lot of people are saying 2. Right, I am going to do a quick demonstration, because we're now going to the main part of the lesson. And the main part of the lesson is all to do with Smarties. I'm sorry we're not going to eat them, because we did the eating a while ago. I have got a Smartie box. I want to draw a net of a Smartie box. A net is the flat version that folds up. That's what we've been doing. Right, to do it, I am going to cut up the Smartie box and make it flat. And to do that, I need a pair of scissors. I put somewhere special here. Right, I don't want flaps, because they're not part of the net. So I'm going to cut the flaps off. So I cut all the little flaps off because I don't want those. But I've still got to keep the end bits. Don't get overzealous with your cutting off, otherwise you'll have no box at all. Right, Smarty box. I'm now going to cut it. And I'm going to cut it down there. If I do that, I've now got a net. And the net I've got is far too big there. Is that one. There's my net. That is one net for a Smarty box. But it's not the only one. Today's lesson is about being able to find different nets of a cuboid and decide which is the best, but more importantly, because this is the harder bit, which is the worst net. I want the best and the worst net. Right, to help you, I'm going to use this to demonstrate, which clearly isn't a Smarty box. It's now a Cadbury's chocolate finger box. But it's still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Okay, right, would anybody be brave enough to come and rearrange my Cadbury's chocolate finger box into what they think might be a net? If nobody's brave enough, I'm just going to point. Gabriel. Come have a go. If you get it wrong, it's better for me, because mistakes teach more than getting it right. So if you get it wrong, Gabriel, I really don't mind. It makes it easier for me. Right, each of you needs to start off with one of those sheets and a Smarty box for everybody. Okay?
Right, and you had to fill in, you filled it in yourself, did you, or did Miss fill it in for you? Miss filled it in. What does that mean?
Well, we get levels for the different pieces of work we do.
Yeah.
And what levels are normal, level that we should get using?
I think it's, well, each different person has their own target grade, so there isn't a certain level.
So you know what your target grades are?
Yeah.
Do you? So what's your
Actually,
target?
while we're just waiting
We kind
for
of have
Craig,
to,
you
when
can
we
be
get a
starting
level
to
Yeah.
cut
piece of work,
your
we have to try and get
your
higher
own
than that,
Smarty box
every
up.
time we start.
You could be doing a little bit of cutting out.
Right,
If you need more scissors, I've got
Tell me
loads.
about this.
Where have I put them?
Miss
Here.
put
Loads
the
of
comments in
scissors.
here.
So just be doing that while we get
She said.
Craig ready. Right, so when
She said you had to finish off that list.
that.
Now, did you finish that off? Was that have you added some since she made that comment?
Yeah, I was only up to level.
Oh, I see. So you've added some others. So you've got those right. So that's well done. And she's put you a little target. Do you get targets for lots of things?
Yeah.
And she said here you must explain what you noticed. What do you think that meant?
Well, we were doing things about prime numbers.
Yeah.
And I think she wanted us to put something about what we noticed about prime numbers and where they were.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay.
And what do you use your smart book for? Is it just for
I have
remembering stuff?
Well, we have our orange bit, and this is like our special bit.
Yeah.
So we put
Right,
all of our,
I'm going to be giving out
how to
another
remember
resource
The
in a
important
minute.
things you've got to remember. Okay.
High-tech equipment, sellotape.
Well done. Some nice work.
When you're using sellotape, the easiest thing to do is to have it dangling off the desk. So what you do is you have it, you get your end, and you stick it off the desk. That way you don't go looking for the bit, and you can cut pieces off. Okay, I'm going to check out Gabriel's answer. So I'm going to stick a bit of sellotape on the sides to see if it works. So join it together is a good way of checking. Join it up. So I can now take my net
Do you review the lesson retrospectively?
and fold it up and check it works. Because for lots of you,
Chat.
You have an
this is
evaluation
your
of what's
way
worked and
of
what's
doing
not
it in
Yeah,
your
we do.
head.
Yes.
Okay,
So
thanks.
don't
I might
do it
have a
in
chat
your
with you
All right,
later.
thank you.
Do it for real. Now, a different net for this one, I'm going to do by cutting here. I'm going to cut that one up. And I'm going to think, well, where else can I put that? So when it folds, that bit attaches there. So maybe I'm going to attach it that way. And I've got a completely different net. So, recap the instruction. You have got Smarty boxes. You have got lots of spare ones if you need them. You are trying to find as many different nets as possible. And I want skinny ones and fat ones. You need to check they work. So you're probably going to have to sellotape them up and fold them unless you're very good at visualising that folding. For the moment, lay them out on the desk. I guess we put your folders to the side so you make a bit more space in the middle. Remember, last lesson, you might be able to use these to help you. Okay, go for it.
Vertices, isn't it?
I want to find a difference.
So,
Have you got your work from
go on, have a little play.
Okay, so this one, to me, doesn't look like any of those.
Okay.
But I quite like to make it look like
Is that going to work?
that one.
It's not going to work. You can actually see that's not going to work. Fold. How do you know it's not going to work?
Yeah, I want to find it like that.
Because these
So I want it to fall down the middle, one at either end.
And you
So
haven't
I'm going
got
to take
either.
this.
You've got one. There's nothing there on that corner, is there? There's that. That.
I do have
Okay.
fall down the middle, 1, 2, 3,
When you start folding it,
The problem is these aren't squares, are they? So I want to be able to put one at either end. So can I do
but you've got the
that bit?
sellotape there that if you want to, you can put it back
Why
together and
doesn't
try and
it
make
work?
it into the box again. Okay.
What would you do with that bit there?
That's easier, turning up the other way so it's
Go
plain.
there.
Yeah, it might be easier for you to see.
There. When you fold, so that one is a different net. That will work. That will still fold up and make a cube, but it's very different than that one. So that's a different one. No, that will still. If that worked before, it will still work now. So that one.
Other people and see if you can come up with it, or just have a play around yourself. Do you want me to get you another sheet so you can actually see what it's like in the first place? Okay.
Fold it up. So what we need to do is make them, don't we? So what you need to do
There you
is
go.
get some.
Okay, so you've got
And
to make
remember,
that
when we
up
made these
first.
ages ago, it's not going to be over here.
You show.
It's going to have to be at the end.
Which is your folder?
Cut it, when you're cutting it up,
You know what's the
cut
top
it
one,
differently.
though?
I've looked at Ryan's.
Last one.
It's the last one. Thank you very much.
Now get your scissors, and instead of cutting what you did before, cut entirely differently. So if I cut
That was
down there,
my
Was
friend.
it Hassan?
Yeah,
Is that right? Okay.
then I cut
Gotcha.
down
Is that your, hey, you've got two. Why have you got two?
Because I lost one, but then I found it in my class under my table.
Okay. So,
I-
maths any good?
I'm good at my times tables and everything.
Yeah.
I've got 100.
So you have to help Ryan with that, do you?
When I was sitting on myself, I was struggling like, at
Yeah.
the beginning of maths when I first joined school.
Yeah.
But then when Miss moved Ryan next to me,
Yeah.
Miss said, "Oh, Ryan will help you at the beginning of maths." And when he did, I knew everything, and I was getting clever at maths.
So does that work well for you,
Yeah.
working together? Does it work well for you as well, Ryan? That's good. So tell me what you're especially good at. You're good at times tables, you said.
this table, just come and watch.
I just need like someone
This table
to
here, just come and watch.
tell me first what to do, but then I know it.
Yeah.
Off by.
So does Miss tell you in her marking, does she tell you the sorts of things you need to work on?
Yeah, she says what
So what does that say?
you are missing the multiples of different numbers.
So what does that mean,
So if I cut,
do you think? Can you remember?
Missing.
It's probably quite a long time ago.
now I'm going to cut.
You're missing the multiples of different numbers, so could you do the one at the beginning of the lesson?
Yeah, I could do the first one, but I just needed Miss to help me on the second one, just
Right.
at the beginning, but then I knew
Okay.
it.
But you think you're getting better at it?
Yeah.
Good. Eh?
We'll help you see the
And do you have a target for maths, Hassan?
I don't remember. I think
bet
it's
you've got
like be
some-
organised or something.
Oh, right, okay. I can believe it looking at that. But you do that well, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm really good at times tables.
That's organisation is not a problem there, is it? So what do you need to do to get better at maths, do you think? What do you need to work at?
I need to work at like listening more
Yeah.
when the teachers turn us
Uh-huh. And any particular bits of maths?
like this sort of stuff about nets and shapes? Can you do that, or is that?
I should improve on the
You
nets.
should. Well, you probably better get on with it then. I shouldn't interrupt you much longer, so you can get on with that. Thank you very much, Etienne. That's very kind of you to talk to me. Okay. What should I look at? What's a good example of your good work?
The blue book.
The blue book. Well, you probably can ask for herself, can't you? I think we've got folders and all sorts in there, so let's look in your blue book.
The same length.
You like maths?
Kind of.
Kind of. What do you kind of like?
The Smarties.
What, the eating the Smarties or the making the boxes?
Eating the Smarties.
Oh, right, okay.
Leave that one there, but you could easily
Understand that. And do you... what does that say?
You need to finish off multiplication.
And why has Miss said that?
I don't know.
Is it because you've only done one or two of these, or had you not done as many as you should have done?
I didn't do many as I should have done.
Okay. And you said maths was a bit... What's the
Kind of bad.
what's the hard bit?
Doing some of the work.
Yeah, but what about which bits of the work?
I don't know.
You don't know. So there's bits that are hard, but
Okay, you have got 2 more
just you
minutes.
don't like it very much. Isn't that
Yeah,
your
I
best
don't like
subject?
it very much.
As many
Was that the
nets
same
as
at
you
primary
can on
school,
your
or is that
table.
just since you've been at
2 more
secondary school?
minutes.
Same at primary.
It was the same at primary. It was just because you found it hard. That's fair enough. Do you have a target for maths?
No.
Don't know. Do you remember what you got for your Key Stage 2 at the end of primary school?
No.
Thank you very much. Are you enjoying this? You did all right with that, aren't you? Right. Why is that good?
Because it helps you do the
Yeah.
shape stuff.
Okay. And you managed to get the shapes to work?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And good luck with your report as well. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, could I stop you all there? Right, so what we need to do is we need you to clear the desk so that in the middle are the ones you've got that have worked. In a minute, Mrs. E is going to come in with plastic bags to put in the ones that are your current working stuff that we're going to use next lesson. But we need, in the middle of your desk, the ones that have worked. All the other bits are going to go into a plastic wallet in the middle, so you just put those in a pile, because if we can see the ones that have worked, then we can have a look at how everyone's done.
Tell me what you think you've learned today.
Okay, so on your desk,
The
boys,
nets are different flats, but all these shapes have to be together to be able
Do you
to
think
flap.
you could make one for a different shape? You know, if you had a, I don't know, a licorice all sorts box or something, do you think you could have a go at doing one now that would work?
Yeah, I think we
Good.
could.
If you were giving marks for the lesson out of 10, what would you give it?
An 8.
8. That's quite good. And what would be the even better? It would have been even better if
More different like shapes and boxes.
more different shapes have a go at.
So we can make different shapes then.
Yeah. Okay.
And we
Okay.
can explore
Yeah.
different shapes. We can try and make different shapes.
Okay. Do you think it's made you think? The lesson?
Yeah.
And do maths lessons usually make you think?
Can we have the
Yeah,
ones
they
that
do.
work?
Thank you.
Most
In the middle
Yeah,
of your
okay, well
desk, the
done.
ones that work. Could you bring up one, your favourite one, that you think is the best or the worst, from your table to me now? Sure. I have, that's okay. From your table?
She said
I'll take that one. Okay, and one more from Gabriel. Right, so here's a quick slideshow, imagine. Have a look at this one now. Look at that one. Okay, so could anybody give me something that would help you know that you could get from this one to this one? Any ideas? Pass. You putting your hand up?
No.
Could you tell me, because you're quite good at this, how would we have got from this shape to this one?
Turned it around.
Turn them round, brilliant. Important bit is that this short edge has joined onto this short edge. They've turned round. Is one of those bigger than the other one?
No.
Okay, hands up if you think no. Hands up if you think yes. Okay, you're both right. Okay, depends what we mean by bigger. There's two biggers. They are the same area because they've got the same bits. But if I thought about how much space I would need if I was going to cut them out to a big piece of paper, if I was going to cut this one out of a rectangle of paper, I would only need that much. Whereas this one's going to need all this much. It's a much wider piece. And that's what I want to move on to next lesson, is trying to find if we can make really big wide ones compared to skinny ones. And starting to work out which ones can work and which ones can't work. I've been getting you to chop them up and move them around so that you start seeing how things work. Because quite a lot of people were making ones, I haven't got a couple of examples, that wouldn't work at all. But it's only when you start folding them up you realise they don't, that's the one I wanted. Thank you very much. This one won't work at all. And hopefully, if nothing else, you've got that from this lesson. Because you did it, Claudia, why won't this one work at all? Because it looks lovely. It's a nice big rectangle. It's all nice and neat. Are you able to say, George?
Well, is it because, well, at the top the two flaps, they're right next to each other?
They're right next. Those two flaps here, they're supposed to be on opposite sides. They're right next to each other. That's one problem with it. What's going on down here? Yes, Fergus.
It can't fold because it can fold
It can
like
fold
that,
in half
but then
in,
it
but
can't
this bit
because
has
it's
to
got,
be flat.
yeah.
Okay, so hopefully that's the really big bit you're starting to get out of this lesson to start off with, is working out, well, what goes where, what folds up. This is level 5 work, but actually it's a lot of thinking, it's quite hard to get around your head. Okay, we need lots of practice moving things around. Okay, if you could bring any of those other cubes to me on the way out. Everything else can stay in the middle of your desk. Could you go and line up outside, please?